Good morning. Good morning. It is time to get live. It is time to get lit. We are live and lit. Time to wake and bake this wacky Wednesday with my friend Drake and all you amazing people out there on YouTube. How are you today? Drake, what's up?
Just got a little more hash, ready to get lit. Was talking about how we missed the northern lights that rolled through 2 nights ago. Apparently it was just amazing, super beautiful. So that's cool. So anyone that got to see that, kudos to yourself. But I'm seeing all the pictures, so I didn't miss out completely. But yeah,
I didn't even know there was northern lights that we could see. That's awesome.
Camera never works very well here, but I'm stubborn, so I'm showing you this way anyways. This is a shot from a local spot here, and it's pretty darn incredible. Too bad we were sleeping early and up early.
Amazing, amazing. Cool. So, hey, we put the invite out to Dragonfly Earth Medicine. I'm not sure if they're going to be joining us today or not. I had a little chat with them, so I'm not sure if they're coming in or they are. We kind of, never did really finish up the talk, but they had a few minutes, a few things they were going to get done this morning, and then maybe they're going to pop on. So we are going to give a little chit chat. I've been gone. I've been traveling down to Portland. Drake's got we've got all kinds of garden updates to be telling you. We got lots of updates to be telling you today. But first, most importantly, let's take a dab. And we got Ian. Boom! What's up? Good morning, y'all out there.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'll jump in on some of this papaya we've got. And yourself, I know you've got a lot more selection than I now. What are you going to do? Are you just going to point and shoot and
I'm literally okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have more, but I have just 6, and I have a few more. I'm not going to say how many, but 6 of just hash rosin dabs. So all of these are all from Oregon. I have more from Washington, but these are all just from Oregon. So I'm super excited to be trying out some Oregon hash today.
Have you tried?
I've been smoking on it for a while. And my favorite one so far really is this golden grapes.
Okay, nice. That's pretty much what I was trying to spit out there.
Literally, check out the price on that baby. You're going to see it here in just a minute.
Does it say $36?
$36.
That's wreck too.
Freaking gram. If I was a medical patient, only $30. Check that out. It smells amazing. Oh my God. This is my favorite by far. All of them. I would have went back and bought more grams, but I didn't, and I should have. I shouldn't have bought more. Yes.
That price to patient. That's not too shabby at all.
Yeah. Why would you buy? Okay. So I hate to be snobby, but why would you buy BHO for the same price?
Different compounds, I suppose, to be devil's advocate. Some people don't enjoy
or more.
Oh yeah.
$50 they had BHO next to this hash rosin right here. People just don't know. I'm sorry.
Makes it an easy
but that's
choice
okay.
for
Keep
myself.
it a secret. Keep it all for me.
Right?
Your mic's kind of quiet again. Am I loud again? I might be overpowering you again.
Well, let's see. Let's see if I can do a little adjusting here.
How's our mic, you guys? Are our mics okay? Drake got a new mic, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't overpowering him. I could be just always overpowering everybody.
That's a way to do it too, right? As long as you always overpower everyone, you're consistent.
Yeah, that's right. And I noticed that it was more of, I don't know if it's more of a straight up and down on those, like straight, or if it's an angle.
Yeah. Either or. Test 1, test 2.
Go straight. So go straight down.
This thing can only spin this far this way. How is that?
No, you're quiet. You're not. Are you even on that? I don't think you're even coming in on that.
It says so, but it's lied to me many a time, so I'll unplug and replug on in. Now we're on the other mic, just for reference. It says, and soon we should be switching over to the other one automatically. Let's see. Has it now switched? Am I coming in differently? It should be.
Yeah, a little bit. It just seems quieter to me. He says the sound's fine. Sammy says it's fine. Okay, says we're good. Okay, as long as y'all say we're good out there. I want to just make sure. I think I'm overpowering.
I don't know why, but it's Zoom's automatically changing it. Every time I come check, I bet I can increase my input volume and get louder and louder.
There you go, right there. That's what, yeah.
All right, I'll leave it around here unless someone tells me I'm yelling at them.
So, yeah, There's a little switch. There's a little part that you have to take that switch off, but that's okay. Sorry, didn't mean to bug y'all with the mic shit this morning. Yeah, Drake is quieter. He's always quiet, but I think we got it fixed now. Do we got it fixed? I think.
Yeah, I'll even crank it up a little bit louder, but I have everything turned off. It shouldn't automatically adjust. It should be locked, but it just says no.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Okay, let's get that dab on our way, shall we? I am going to grab, I have two of them that I bought that were from two different places called Key Lime Pie, I think. And I have key lime pie. I've got watermelon magic.
Watermelon magic.
120 U.
Okay.
Rosin. And then I have the key lime pie. And then I have, holy hell, Hulk juice. And another key lime pie. That's when I told you about. I had the key lime pie, and then the super glue haze. And then the favorite one of mine was the golden grapes. So what should we try today? I haven't tried the key lime pie. Let's try the key lime pie from this company.
You hit the pie, I hit the papaya.
And so this is what the little jars look like. I'm going to have that upside down, aren't I? Yep. And these are not twist. They're actually just, you squeeze in on the top and they lift up. I don't know if anybody's come across those yet. They're a little different. I was sitting there trying to twist the damn thing. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a different hop. Okay, so first smell, really funk. It has some funk. Like, you guys would like this. It almost has that weird cheese funk on the beginning note. Oh, it doesn't make me want to dab this because I don't like cheeses. I didn't smell it in the store. I could have, but I didn't. Okay, let's dab. Here we go. I see other people are hitting out there with us. What y'all doing today? Sammy says he has 2 watermelon strains. That's awesome. I
don't know why, but this really just gave me it was really reminiscent of the chalking a pool cue. That scent that comes off after you chalk your pool cue.
I don't remember what scent it is, but
and it might have something to do with like the whole environment, like if you were at like a billiards or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah.
And in there, so it's, there's all the felt and the tables and so on and so forth. But whatever that dab had in it, it just sent me back to just like chalking up a pool cue. So that's weird. This is the papaya. Some papaya I just hit.
Nice. Hey, Elka. Welcome, Elka. How are you? It was my face, but I know it smelled funny. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this is. Oh, I'm worried.
Kara likes the funk.
I'm worried. I'm not gonna like it. Oh, I bet the high will be amazing though.
They usually are. I find that too. I've said it many times before. I'm always pretty apprehensive with the cheeses, the real funky ones, the I could even say a little pooey, even those ones. I'm always apprehensive, but the stones behind them are just really heavy, heady, sedative, but not necessarily, I was able to still get some stuff done, but just not be in the pain that used to be.
So the flavor's really not there. Nice.
That's good for you.
Because I don't like it.
Missing cheese.
But like, do you ever you have a smell when you smell here, but when you hit it, there's nothing. It's kind of just dissipates.
Yeah.
That there's nothing. There's no terps when I'm hitting this.
Well, now having Eric bug you at this event you're at to hit your rig with no water, I wonder if they could potentially be some of those water-soluble terpenes. But I just read a neat rundown from Madame Cannoli that was, from Frenchie, that was a list of a bunch of the terpenes and their how water-soluble essentially they are and if they are. And it was less than one would assume, at least less than I would assume. So. And the ones that were, actually quite water soluble were ones that you don't generally see or hear about on, say, like Tara's little terp boxes on her rundowns there. So.
So what should we do? I have today. I didn't want to go really long today. We're gonna go about an hour for the show is what I'm planning, unless Dragonfly jumps on here and they got some amazing news and then, it goes on. But I know we're all in the middle of harvest season. It's Croptober going on right now. I am so excited to finally be harvesting. I'm really looking forward to this year's harvest. How about you, Drake?
I am definitely looking forward to it. I'm excited for the processing that is to follow and all the learning we're going to do with the freeze dryer and so on and so forth. How's harvesting coming along? Have you started already? You mentioned.
Yes. Look, I have bucking to do.
Oh yeah, you certainly do.
I got bucking to do.
Nice. So you just started on the plants that need to come down first, or what?
Yeah, those are actually some of Dragonfly Earth Medicine's genetics. They're finished off really, really quick. I have a few more out there. But those finished off quick. I'm really quick. I was surprised that they're amber. There is amber on a lot of that.
Well, speaking of, I just got some genetics recently and had a little bit in the reserve of some early finishing gear. We're talking 45 to 50, maybe 55-day finishers. Have not jumped into them prior, but for next season, we want to have a ton of seeds to work with, ton of gear. So what we're doing here is I've got some of the Hella Jelly from Humboldt Seed Company. This is a 45-day finisher. Shout out to Sungrown 707 for bringing that to my attention. And, it looks pretty nice blueberry nose and just chunky, early September finish, well, mid to late September finishing, but September finishing buds, which are fantastic. Then we've got some time warp, some lemongrass. I've got GDPs that I'm running, probably 70 plus seeds out. And there's a few select phenos that also finish in this area in the mid-September. So I'm going to weasel those ones out amidst doing the hunting. And, after we figure out the strongest contenders, I'm going to do one more round and then reverse one of most likely the Hella Jellies, maybe the Tixeta Time Warps, and pollinate the whole room, which will be the same thing like we were saying, the lemongrass that we pick, the Tixeta Time Warps, black garlic, GDP, and the other Hella Jellies. So we're going to have, about 5 different early finishers that we're going to hit with the most stable of the early finishers. And we'll see what comes of it. So then we can play with technically untested gear, but we'll be playing just ourselves and outdoors and have a pretty good suspicion, good idea that it's going to finish in pretty appropriate times. So that's going to be fun to work with, and then continue on down those lines and maybe straighten things out a little bit more from there. Pick the best of the best in the fields in the future and start really weaseling them down and working those lines down a little. Could be fun, but we're just pissing around, might be doing a little pollen chucking, like I said, a reversal. So nothing very scientific on our end. And you're muted, Tara.
Yeah, I love when I talk to myself. I think everybody should do some pollen checking. At first, I didn't think it. I think no, you shouldn't, because you're mixing up this stuff and maybe it's not a good idea to mash all these cultivars together, right? But I feel like you should do it for yourself. Everybody should breed seeds for themselves. They should try it themselves and plant their own seeds and see what it's like. This is the way they did it in the old times. They saved their seeds. People saved their seeds. You didn't go to the store and buy seeds. You saved your seeds, and you built your own genetics, and you built your own seed banks. And I think that that's something we've forgotten about, and we need to take that back into our own hands.
And if you can do the research up front and get a good understanding of what's required for just say growing in general, and then for what you would need to do for if you're doing some sort of planned breeding, at least you can figure out other reputable breeders that their gear speaks for itself, not just hype, and be able to have really good starting gear to work with. And then if you're able to figure out how to either reverse one or work with some males and let one go, be careful in what room you do it in. You got to just think about the pollen and what's going to come with that. But yeah, that's a great point, what Tara's saying, because then you have all this stuff to work with now that ideally is going to be pretty solid, pretty stable if you've done the research initially to get that gear. And you can just experiment. And it's not, if we're only buying packs and they're 100 plus a pack for 10 seeds, it's tough. And it's, pretty, I keep wanting to say debilitating, but when you lose a really expensive seed, it sucks. So sometimes you're not just excited to get right back at it and go again. But when you have a whole, bank of the gear that's trustworthy, it's fun. And then also getting good gear is going to be night and day. You put all this time and effort in, and you have something that's just doesn't have potential. It doesn't matter what you give it, right? So put that due diligence in first. That's always the best way to go about it. And we'll always preach that.
And we also talk about a lot, because we hang out with all those awesome breeders over on the Northwest 47, which we can't quit talking about that amazing Discord over there. We talk about what it's like to be a seed tester or that. And you got to realize that when you pollen check or you breed your own seeds, there's a lot of testing that goes into that. A lot of these breeders don't just throw them right out, hey, this is what I got for sale after they've only grown it 1 year.
But a lot of them do.
But a lot
and those of them are the ones you got to find out. Yeah.
So be careful, because with that yin, there's a yang.
And, it's kind of confusing. There's so much to it. We all what is testing? We spoke about it prior. You have to check out the episode earlier. We had Lemon, we had Two Dog. We got into a whole bunch of that, but it's things like if you're going to be a breeder and you're going to work with a certain line, you're going to have to take that line and you're going to want to open it up. There's means of ways to do that. You're going to investigate it. You're going to see all the possibilities it gives out to some degree. Your space is going to be, dependent on how crazy you can go, but you're going to want to go as big as possible, see what it does. And then all the negatives, if they're in there, you're either going to work them out or you're going to hop ship and move on to something that doesn't express all those negatives right off the bat. But then you find one that's got all these awesome features that you want to work down. Well, now you're going to have to take, the specific ones that are your favorite, work with them, pair some together, however you choose to do it. I won't go into the terms and start butchering all that. But the other important things that people don't think about is now once they've got something that's essentially fantastic, well, is it going to herm under different conditions from stressing, or is it going to be a weak plant? Is it going to need trellising? Is it going to be prone to PM and botrytis and different molds and mildews? Is it not going to grow super big? Is the yield going to be garbage? Is the terpenes going to go when you light the joint? Is everything going to disappear like we mentioned before? Is it going to hold flavor? Is it going to be a hash producer? There's a million different things essentially you can look for, and each one of those things takes generations of work generally. So working from two plants and into the kids and into the grandkids and the great grandkids sometimes, and then back to the parent just to bring in some other, there's a whole lot of work just for each one of these things. So to be able to, let's say, lock in that one trait that you desired, well, now you've got, what's the other trait? Okay, maybe it's not going to get PM anymore. Maybe it's not going to be super stretchy, but now you've still got a plant where, I still would like to work on the nose a little bit or get a little more frost to it. Well, now you have to start working another project with the same, there's just so much to it that the average, patient and smoker just isn't going to think about. So when we see someone coming out with 20, 30 things a year, well, that's got to be the best stuff. That person's doing the most. It's, oh my God, all these hot names, everything's fire, everyone loves it. Well, unless this is like a giant team with multiple facilities that are large, that they can do these huge projects in a really timely manner, there's a good chance you're just getting not as tested a gear. Whereas you'll find someone who you bring them onto a show and they just are a knowledge bomb. They just keep dropping knowledge. It's just like, oh my God, when do they stop? And then they only have a couple different things throughout their whole career. Well, there's probably a reason for that. They've probably spent their whole career on those couple things. So there's a good chance that's, be it only a couple things, might be some of the nicest stuff you've ever tried. So I'll get off the stand here, but yeah, definitely there's a lot to it that we don't realize.
And also something to hit on though, breeding your own, Elka's telling me to preach it, to breed your own. Nobody knows your nose. Nobody knows your nose. You know what you like. Everybody might like chocolate chip cookies out there, but there might be a chocolate chip cookie that you might like better. So it's going to have that little bit of taste to it. And as I was thinking about that this morning, I'd really like to go back to talking about cooking and recipes. And when you take all these flavors like seasonings and you take a vanilla, say that is one flavor that you can use, and there's a mint that you can use in another thing that you would make for, your peppermint patties, and you would use your vanilla over here for a nice cake recipe. Well, sometimes, those don't always mix. So sometimes putting all these cultivars, breeding one into this and breeding one into that, there might be some really shit that might turn out there. So I would hate to have somebody dedicate their whole summer to growing a seed that was crap, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of dedication, which you all know, and time out there to do that. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like people should test their own seeds. They should really be honest with you and not release them until, there's something there that they think, or you should be well educated to know that you don't know what's in that pack and you might get some shit.
Exactly. I had quite a bit of gear where there's been the odd bag seed out of like a pound or something like that. And it'll be some like, some of the quads or some of like the really nice stuff that's meriting a really, still well over 2,000 wholesale on large end. And then in the stores, we're talking $13 plus a gram kind of thing. So it's like, being a less educated individual in the whole breeding and genetics backgrounds, I would keep those and just, I don't want this to come off and sound like there's not greatness in bag seeds, because a lot of these cultivars that are just so hyped now are just that. And there's plenty of potential. But lots of the times, if you find seeds in any of the cannabis flower you're smoking, then you go to grow those seeds. Well, those seeds weren't from a breeding project. There wasn't some boy that was thrown in and a girl that was hit. It wasn't planned. And you don't just have some awesome seed that could potentially be a boy or girl. You've generally got a seed and you pop it and you're hoping it's female. You wait and you wait. You see those little hairs. You get so happy. Yay, I see my little hairs. It's a girl. Well, generally it's because it's a hermaphroditic plant. So it's actually only got X chromosomes. It doesn't have any Y's in there. It could only be a girl. But this girl is most likely really prone to do what? To throw nanas again, to throw those hermaphroditic traits, to pollinate your crop and to give you seeds. Some people think that's godsend, but it's pretty much just bottlenecking, because if you get a seed from
if you've ever had seed in your weed, it's not fun to try and smoke or make product with it. It also takes away from the trichomes. So if you're gonna breed at home, you can breed one little small plant, right? One little branch down at the very bottom. That's what I do. I pollinate a little small branch on the bottom.
Nice. Yeah. And then the same thing.
Pollen chucking.
Trying to contain it so you still have your smokable herb because you utilize your garden. Yeah. Whereas if you wanted, you could just, chuck the whole thing, pollinate the whole thing and have it like that. But then you're same thing. It is, you kind of have to go through in whatever process you deem worthy, get all your seeds out. And then you've got this kind of mangled product in which same thing, you can bubble it. But if you're if you have an anal hash processor, they're just not going to want to work with that material at all. The end product reflects it as well. Same if you squish it. If anything, like Tara says, if it's producing seeds, it's taken away from producing trichomes and it's trying to give itself life in a sense, right? It's trying to produce prodigy that can live on. It's not so worried about all the secondary metabolites and other things.
Okay, so that was the key lime one. We're going on to the next one. Going on to the one. Hello, all you awesome people in chat out there. Let's say hello and get some shout outs. We got Supreme Grape out there. We got Sister Golden Hair in the house. I'm Ed. Hello. How are you? Sammy Sis, love you, man. Always hanging out, supporting the fam. What's up, T? How are you? T Barrington in the house. Elka's in here. What's up? What's up? What are y'all smoking on? Is ready for another dab? I'm ready for another dab. How about you, Drake?
I got one lined up.
Ready for another dab?
You know it.
Dab. Okay, so that was a key lime from that one company, and I don't know if it's a different company, but I'm going to try the key lime pie from the other company. How's that? And we'll see if they both have the same nose on them and smell. Okay, so, oh, wow, this color's different already. Okay, the color's different already on the one. Ooh.
Lighter, darker, louder.
This one smells terpier and almost a little nicer. but it still has that hint of that weird funk that I don't like. Okay, so let me show you. I'll show you guys. One's square and one's round. That'll be nice. At least I can keep track of that. Okay. Okay, here we go. Whoops. So there you go. The both key lime pie. So you can see that one's way more terpy. See how that shine and the other one's lost its shine? That's how, if you can't see your product in the store and you can't smell your product in the store, but you can flip it over and at least see the color underneath. You can see on the edges how it started to grease out. That's how you know it's more terpy, when it starts changing color like that. It started to change. So let's try it. I think this one is like going to be way more terpier, but there's one thing about in Oregon that I didn't like is that they do open it so you can smell it, but I don't really want them opening the jar that they're going to sell me. And to me, popping the top off this is going to dry this out. And how many times did they pop the top off this before they sold it to me? See, this is why exactly. I argue with being able to. I don't know. That's my argument. What do y'all think?
Sample jar for sure.
They didn't have no sample jar.
Yeah, but they need to have a sample jar, or else.
Yeah, that was not cool that they opened that and then sold it to me. I don't really like that.
Interesting practice.
So I'm gonna check into that a little bit more because I'm really curious. You know, I think it's awesome that you get to smell your product, but not if they're smelling my product and then I go home with it.
I mean, that was like the original, you know, first.
Oh yeah, this is soft. Okay, so this is like, it's like soft.
Yeah, batter.
Like so soft, like butter soft. Look at that, just soft. Like this is gonna be good. Yeah. Super excited to dab this one. What's chat smoking on out there? We got China Berry. What's up? How are you? Mac. Sammy says sour Mac. Ooh.
If this come in at all. You gonna pick up just my greasy fingers?
So have you harvested anything yet, Drake?
No, I haven't harvested a thing.
Nothing?
No.
Oh, that looks good.
It's not quite
really?
good enough. We got a little gloss. No. We had a
negative... Are you worried? Okay, so if it freezes, you know.
If it freezes. Oh no, we fucking passed that.
I know, but do the trichomes fall off?
No.
How do we know that?
Well, I mean,
aren't we freezing them to get them off in hash to make hash with it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but like, for example, like I think you recall No grows. He's a local grower around here that's been doing it forever. Like he runs his cultivars until there's fucking snow on them every single year, like fucking snow on them heavy. I did that last year kind of more for fun. And it was for science, we'll call it. Maybe even been 2 seasons ago because I can't remember at this point. I didn't notice a drastic reduction in yields from processing of the same cultivars. If that is any indication that there wouldn't be too dramatic of loss, one could assume if you had, like we were talking about the different types of trichomes, and there's trichomes that have really long stalks and they're very bulbous. And if you had those and they freeze or snow falls on them or so on and so forth, one could, assume that you're going to have some minor loss, right? If it's heavy enough and it freezes and it's brittle enough and the wind hits it wrong and you could just assume that. I wouldn't be overly worried myself. Just like I said, because I've had the product ran year after year. And had similar results with the same cultivar. And it would just be adding those back into the growing medium, which is all part of what we do, right? Chop and drop, maybe even sacrifice a couple of heads back in there. Overall, to be super anal, it would be ideal to not have these temperatures at all. Yes, I would prefer that completely. But at this point, the plants, because they're in a pretty well, a seemingly very healthy medium in the bed outside, the way it's set up. They're not okay, we got negative 3.3 degrees Celsius. So I can't even tell you what that is in Fahrenheit right now. And the plants were not happy in the morning, but none of them died. None of the branches died. I didn't lose anything. I'm not even really seeing the leaves particularly that died off.
Wow.
So that's indicative that the root zone itself didn't get too pissed off yet. So I'm assuming because of the Hugel-ish style build, because of the microbial activity in there, because I'm still doing the weekly applications of our JMS, JLF, and all the fun stuff, it's seeming to keep the plants with enough, metabolic activity to keep moving. So we got the -1, and they were okay, little meh. We got negative 3.3, where I got worried. I was thinking I was going to have to harvest. That was not yesterday, but the night before. But the plants were not looking too much more upset than they were at the -1. And this is only nighttime conditions. It's just for like the one was 6-7 hours from like midnight till 8 in the morning. It was below zero. And now we're getting another warm spell. So we're in bulking phase. The plants are happy enough to still be praying during the daytime when the sun comes out. It seemingly looks like they're still growing. They're at that point where it's pretty dismal as far as size goes now. Some of them are hard. There's buds there. It's okay. They're solid size for indoor plants, looking pretty hardy. But as far as for outdoor plants, there's no fucking big, arm colas. So bulking phase, some warm weather coming up. We wanted to push them through these couple colds and see what they can do. So overall, we're going to have bulking that's going to outweigh the slight loss of trichomes from freezing, in my opinion. And just because the plants are still, active, still alive, we would imagine that when we're still alive, even if our exterior is cold, our interior is still keeping warm. So I don't know how much that cross applies to the plants as well, but they're still going to have, metabolic activity happening throughout the plant. So I don't know how much that allows for the exterior, the trichomes to just freeze and break. I don't, if you know what I'm trying to get at there a little bit, but overall pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know how long it's going to for me. I think some of the plants, like the leaves actually did die off.
Yeah, and then you can tell it's you want to start moseying pretty quick. We just bought a freezer yesterday too, so we can do some fresh frozen if we have to do it in a pinch. Some of it looks worthy to be.
I don't know if I'm going to do any fresh frozen. I don't think I'm going to. Okay, so with me traveling all over, tasting all these hashes and all the stuff that I've been exposed to, I personally like cured hash.
Yeah,
I like the cured flour and then hash. Trying all these terpenes, trying all these things, you look at them, 11% terpene content, I don't know. We don't have, a lot of people think this is safe. A lot of people are saying this is safe. We actually don't have enough evidence or have not been keeping track long enough to know that this is really healthy. I don't believe some of these higher volatile terpenes that we're exposing our lungs to are necessarily healthy for us.
Well, yeah, if anyone smoked,
as I sit here and try and cough,
the renowned Trop cookies and had that in a live res form, you'll know it's caustic as all be, flavorful as you can get, but caustic. I pretty much only want that Trop cookies if it's nice, flour that's been grown properly, cured, and then processed. Yeah, it's going to be a bit darker. It's not going to be as terpy. It's going to have, essentially a different terpene chemistry to it, because you're going to have less of those monoterpenes because they are going to have volatilized off already. And then you're going to have some conversions that are happening during the drying, the curing, and so on and so forth phases. But yeah, I completely agree. That said, some certain cultivars, they're only really worthwhile to use when they're live because the nose doesn't hold as well. And generally those ones, even though they'll be really loud right off the hop, as soon as you start to let them air out and get a few days to them sitting in jars, especially if you don't have proper storing conditions, they'll lose their nose right away and go kind of floral. And we've had that with a few cultivars. So generally, you're looking for the plants that yield well, that hold that nose, that you can dry and cure and process, and they're still just banging. Those are what I look for, at least.
I don't know if they showed a price. I forgot to show everybody if there was a price on this one that I bought. I can't remember. Was there a price on there? I want to say this one was like 45. This one wasn't one of the cheapest ones. This was that key lime one. It came with a little card here that then will say the terpenes, but good God, can they make it any smaller? Like I can really read
that's interesting. Beta caryophyllene, limonene, alpha humulene, beta myrcene, and is that valenine?
Can you read it? I can't even.
Can you flip it upside down, I guess? Yeah, let's see. What's that one? Oh, it's so hard to see, but I think you've got you do have valenine. What? Key lime pie. Interesting. And then
there is no lime in this. Absolutely zero lime. Okay.
Well,
I bought it because it said key lime pie. Seriously, I did.
Is there citrus to it?
Not really.
Interesting.
Not really.
I mean, but
I got a cool slap.
Stuff in that valenine is something I look for. It's in like the Valentina oranges or whatever.
Oh, here, wait. They made it bigger on the backside. Turn it over.
Oh, so you were just fucking.
Here I'm bitching. But there you go. But they.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of like that, how they have the fountain. That's cool.
So, yeah. So there you go. That's from this company. So y'all know, down in Oregon.
The beta caryophyllene, one of the first things was found in hops. Should have been on the frickin' the answer Fumador on the darn trivia.
Oh God. Okay, so I am gonna give a special cheers out to let's do from our mate down under from the future. Mr. Raymond's tuned in this morning. It's 3:45 a.m. over there for him. I didn't realize it was that early for you, Raymond. Thanks for tuning in here. I really appreciate you all. So let's all give a cheers to our mates from down under today. Shall we give a big shout out to everybody around the world? Thanks for being here. I love building the community. It's so much fun having all you tune in. Purple Thumb, how are you? We got Cameron in the chat. K-Buds, good morning. Hello. Let's dab. I'm going to go in on my favorite one that is my favorite one so far. Then you guys won't see a crinkly nose. You'll see a smile for a change.
No crinkles?
Golden grapes. Okay, so that key lime one, it wasn't I'll tell you to give you the sum it up, the review. Not crazy about it. That one was more flavorful than the other one, which was good. Because the flavor was better than the first smell. The smell of it was not very good, but the taste of it was better than its smell. You ever get that?
Okay. Yep.
That happens a lot in that I find in hashes. Does that happen a lot in flour when you smoke flour? Like, will you smell a flour and go, ooh, I don't like that, and then smoke it and go, I like it? Because in hash, I'll be like, ooh, I don't really like it, but then I'll smoke it and I'll be like, oh, it's actually not bad. Does that happen? I'm curious.
I may trigger some, but generally we just smoke the flour and it tastes like burning flour. So in hash, it happens a fair amount. But
yeah, because it like changes so much, I guess, from the heating up, maybe. And I don't know. It seems really weird.
Yeah, and I'll have definitely ones that have more of that funk that comes through, and you get like sweetnesses out of them that it didn't really pick up as much up front. And I think that's just from having that instant reaction to whatever heat your banger is, and potentially just some of those really loud initial terpenes just not even having a chance to make it to you, or potentially some of the water soluble ones. I have the few flowers where it actually comes through in flavor, like that Trop cookies. Shout out to Trouble Gardens Know She Grows, because I mean, I smoked a doobie and I was like, oh my goodness, this tastes good, and burnt flour, but there was good in there, which was kind of cool. I was even telling to Cam, he's even going to be laughing himself now, but I mean, it was definitely a tasty doobie. But same thing, you throw it into some concentrate in whatever form, and generally I'll have to take the latter.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here, and to the future and beyond. Let's do this.
Hey, and if we got anyone stuck in the past out there, you're welcome to dab too. A little throwback dab.
Oh, and that one I just want to hold in because it tastes so good.
So next
Yep.
beans.
Tasty.
Next beans I gotta clean and pop that are sitting in improper conditions in the light and being bounced around by me and not stored great. So don't do what I do with these ones.
How should we clean our beans?
See, that's a good question.
I don't actually know how to clean our beans. We should talk about that.
Yeah, and I think it would be fantastic. We'll have to try and see if we can trap old 710 or someone again who's got a solid, because it would be nice to hear about the whole process of what do you do once you've got your flour that's been, seeded.
Yeah, do you store? I've seen people literally store their seeds in the flour bud until next year to plant it. I've literally seen them do that.
I can say I've seen a lot of things.
So I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's so good. And so there are ways that everybody has their own way, right? And we're not telling you it's wrong or bad, but it's the key is to have that seed last you the longest that it can last you. So the longevity, and so it doesn't carry on any viruses or molds, or so that it's going to pop and be healthy for you. That's kind of what we're about, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated. And this may change when we've got, more experienced de-seeders and seed storers that come to give us their process. Because I think that'd be a cool episode. We'll have, a couple people and what their different processes are as to the end. But say if you're just, rudimentary, you've got some plants that's seeded. Well, ideally you get some gloves, you throw them on, you trim your buds down semi-small, you figure out where your little seeds are at, you start to get in the flow, you pinch them out, and then you can have some sort of a system, some sort of a longer area where it's maybe even got little ridges where you can kind of roll the seeds down, and it's going to stop the debris but allow the seeds to go down. You can repeat this process a couple times, maybe even just have a little sieve and kind of shake it back and forth and have them and keep separating them till the seeds themselves are, just the seeds. There's no debris with them. You can be careful and use, a vacuum, a little vacuum assist. I'm curious to hear what Tara's reading, but you can definitely go through a bunch of different means to get there. What?
Chad is killing me today.
That's great.
So apparently cleaning beans. So beans is another word for seeds. And I never, ever used to say beans until I started hanging out with all you cannabis people. And everybody's like, oh, I'm popping beans. That means you're popping your seeds. Okay. So I say clean beans. Well, now they think it's we're having what sounds like a commercial for a Manscaped commercial.
Clean your beans. Got to keep your beans clean.
A Brazilian bean wax.
Well, here we've got the Lawnmower 3.0, sponsored by Manscaped.
Let's get the hedge trimmers out.
But wait,
oh God, you guys are awesome.
That is great. That is great. And hey, sometimes you can throw beans, so you be careful. Cam will know what's up. Don't throw your beans unless you mean it. Yeah, that's too funny. But overall, you just want to be left with your cannabis seeds, if that's specific enough for everyone out there, to be nice and clean. You want some nice, clean cannabis seeds along with your clean beans.
And clean and bushwhacked.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. You guys, good thing I wasn't smoking. I do think I wasn't smoking or drinking my coffee on that one, Purple. It would have been all over. Oh my God.
You'll get her next time, Purple. You'll get her next time. Timing.
Oh my God. I need a dab because you killed me.
I don't think that's a horrible idea.
Let's have another one. Okay. I'm not going to dab my favorite one because I really want to save it. Do you ever find that when you have that really, really favorite one that you save a little bit of it to when you really, really need it? I'm one of those people. I like to save. I'm a saver.
Oh yeah. I ration things out. I'm like a little chipmunk or squirrel, I'll fucking just stash things around and so forgetful that sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
And isn't it sad that we have to do that? We're doing it because of the scarcity. And scarcity is really not a good thing to feel. It's scarcity brings on really bad high levels of cortisol. Did you know that? It's not good. It's
I can really see unhealthy. The oil. It's there. It's just too damn expensive. It's around. It's just too damn much. Yeah. No, but no, I totally feel what you're saying, right?
Now look. Okay, can y'all see? I have a little bit of oil in the bottom of that. This is what I like about this banger. I can literally take this because that was a good dab. Like when you got a good dab and you still got some good flavors in there, it's still juicy on this banger. So I can literally take it, heat up the top like this just a little bit because I want to warm it up the top before I actually hit the bottom where it's at. Just for a few seconds. And then I can do this. And then I can pop my carb cap back on there and I get that last toke.
Sneak in a little reheat.
And if you didn't get enough, you can even hit it a little bit right there. Just a few seconds until it starts to bubble.
Yep, got to learn your bangers. Got to learn your bangers. It's easier to add more heat. You can never take it away. But you can always add more oil. So if you go a little hot, you just got to double down with the oil. There it goes. Cap down. Oh, cap double down. Cap double down.
I didn't break. Okay, so see how now it's gone? Like I hate wasting good dabs. That's just me.
I'm with you there.
But that last part's a little bit not as good, I will say. Look at it, made it.
Good.
Woo. And I have tile. I gotta cough for a minute.
Well, then, hey, I'll quickly, while you're having a cough before I light up here, after I've got those seeds, like what I'm going to do with those ones that are specifically dirty seeds, because, you know, I know that there's improper practice, but lots of times when you get your expensive seeds from wherever, you don't necessarily know how those people separated and if they had their greasy little fingers and their microbes all over them as well. So what we do is we have our Jadam sulfur. I take it out. I make a specific ratio of that. I soak the seeds in there for 30 minutes. Then initially I rinse them off prior to putting them in there. Then I put them in there. Then I take them out. Then you do whatever your preferred system is. So for myself, I just rinse them off again thoroughly, throw them into some H2O again, let them pop. Then I put them into a JMS solution, a microbial solution. I have one with just leaf mold soil if I don't have a JMS ready at the time. But yeah, soak them with the microbes for 3 minutes and then put them into their little homes. So it's rinse them off, sulfur to disinfect and kill any pathogens or, you know, any issues. Then rinse them off again. Then let them do their thing at whatever point. If you don't like to let your seeds soak in water, you could just put them right into your little, for myself, the microbes, the JMS, and then into the medium. So it's just, you clean them up and then you hit them with beneficials to send them off for a healthy start. Dab time.
Woo, I recovered, but go for it. Damn. That was a good dab. I had to finish that off. I'm definitely well medicated this morning. I do find that I get much higher or more elevated when I introduce several different terpenes in my body. I don't know why it feels that way, but I'm not sure. And then the next live I come back on, hopefully I'll have a little bit of all this left. I'm going to save some of it. And I'm going to hit with either a smaller rig or no water. And I'm going to see if those ones change the complex or something, like if I get some more taste, because we've been talking about that, about how you lose your terpenes in the water. So I kind of feel like maybe that's what we should try. On the next live, I'm going to hit without some water, kind of experiment a little bit, experiment with y'all out there. What do you think, Drake?
Yeah, and less exposure to oxygen before it makes it into your lungs, right? You've only got tiny amount of space before it's in there, and with this it's like a half a shot glass full of water, little tiny buffer.
I think obviously for taste and stuff, a bigger rig isn't the best thing. The reason I go with a bigger rig in the morning though is just so I can take a full bigger dab and really get medicated in the morning, because I don't like the hits as hot, but I want to take a bigger dab. So this is kind of how I get away with it, with bigger percolation down here.
And if you get lucky and you can find a rig, that's why I love this rig specifically so much, and this series, and why they merit the value, is you can really, really rip on these little bottles here. You can I can go full.
Yeah, I know you have loved that thing.
And it doesn't. I'm not.
You know what I like about it? You know what I like that it has a little mouthpiece. It's like a straw. That's what I like. I don't like the big bong mouth. It's
actually the exact same mouthpiece that's on my other rig that I never bring out. That's a little bit more an art piece for myself, just because I don't dip into that kind of realm too much. Although it's got the exact same mouthpiece, and then you can get little carb caps, and this is the top, and then it's like the little like a spinning top style carb cap. But yeah, so you have matching tops of the rig to the top of your carb cap.
Oh, by the way, I heard that you could all have free corona tests. Just fart. If you can smell it, you don't have corona.
You're hilarious. It's that easy.
Someone said, "Ooh, my dog farted." And they're like, "Well, be thankful you don't have corona." I was like, "Oh my God, that was funny." Well, Drake, Elka, I put the invite out there if you wanted to join. I was going to leave you, by the way, let that out there. And I don't see, it's Dragonfly. I didn't see Dragonfly tuning in yet. Drake, where are you at for updates today on the garden? I just need to go harvest. I have, Red River. I almost forgot. Shit. I should have brought my clones in to show you all my clones. I'll have to show you on the next one. So I took clones on late harvest, late in the season after my plants had already flowered. They'd started putting out some pistils, and I got some smells, and I'm like, oh crap, this is some smells that I don't want to lose, because I have done this in the years past. I learned my lesson. I've had some amazing cultivars and I've never kept. So I'm like, I'm not going to lose them this year, right? So as you know, I went down to Oregon. So I put all these clones in my cloner, which I have a turbo cloner, and it has a fan and it has the sprays in it. And all I did was stick my stuff in aloe vera, my clones in aloe vera, and then stuck them in that cloner. And I've got roots on everything I wanted. I have one of everything that I wanted, at least one. And they stayed alive while I was gone. Like, I didn't have to worry about them the whole time while I was gone. I have them under 24-hour light. One of those shop lights. I have them in an office, back over here in an office in a spare room, because they were outside. They had a little bit of aphids on them. I treated them for aphids with just some alcohol and water. I washed it off. That's all I've used on these plants so far. I'm really trying to just experiment with just what I'm doing. I now have a grow tent right over here. I have a 4x4, I think it is 4x4 with the extra tall thingy on it.
Nice.
Ultra yield, whatever it's called, the big tent. And I have a cob lights in there now. I've got my Congo in there, and I have 6 or so clones of that OG from Red River. Actually, come to find out, what is it not? It's called, what's it called? Remember?
Isn't it the Pier Kush?
Yeah, no.
Pier.
Yeah, but what did it come from? That person that I don't know.
Oh, fuck. I'm the worst with. Okay, I gotta write all this stuff down.
That's okay. Well, we'll have it on the next show. But anyways, Red River, I wanted to give you a shout out. Those clones look good. They're doing really, really, really well. The Congo, the cut now made it down its way, is in Eugene, Oregon. And it's in the hand of Two Dog, which is an amazing breeder. You should all go check him out on Instagram. And he also gave me some genetics. We went and had Thai food with him. It was really fun. Nice. Had a great time. It was so awesome meeting everybody. I did a little behind the scenes shot. If y'all want to go check out a cannabis club, I did a live video of that. We hung out with some friends. I went mushroom hunting. I found turkey tail for the first time. Oh my God, we had so much fun. I love getting out. I'm so excited, and so just getting out to meet more people in the cannabis industry just, keeps me going. And I'm just happy to be here today. And thanks everybody for being here again. And I think we should dab one out and let all these cool people go, unless Drake wants to give us a cool update on his garden. Do you want to?
No, you don't get nothing too special.
Us out with that, huh?
Week 4 in flower. We're gonna have lots of stuff coming along in the veg soon, just because I got a bunch of things popped for what I mentioned in the beginning of the show. And outdoors, we're gonna try to get another week or 2 if we can, ideally before we start to harvest. And then we'll be doing some drying and some fresh frozen, depending on the condition of how everything comes out. It's pretty well it for now.
Raymond says he likes your little dab.
A little dabber.
Uncomplicated and easy to clean. I know, yeah. Some of those perks and when you're buying rigs and stuff like that, I swear some of these glass people that make some of this shit have never dabbed. Some of their shit is so non-functional. That's all I got to say. Then we're going to close with an amazing dab. Next week, we'll be dabbing, or Saturday, we'll be dabbing. We'll be dabbing. I like that song, by the way. And I suck at singing, so I will save your ears. What did I just open up? What did I open? I opened something we're going to dab here. We are going to dab the watermelon. I've had the watermelon. The watermelon's not bad. It didn't have a lot of terpenes to it. Here we go. Let you see. I don't know if they say it's, oh, here they inside on the box. There we go. There's their terpene complex. See that, Drake?
Mm-hmm.
Valencia, that one too.
Over 3% or 0.3? Okay, 0.3.
0.3. Bottom, the last one, yeah.
It's going to be very suspicious.
Now, so what I am seeing when I went down to Oregon, at least it's a different change of terpenes, because y'all know you've been seeing me dab on this stuff for quite a while. I've had lots of different flavors, but all of the terpenes are all kind of the same, and I'm getting really super bored, like super bored. Okay, that smells, yeah, this one smells good. This is that watermelon, and I like this one because I already smelled this one, and it's clean. It's a little dried out. It's not as terpy.
Okay. Yeah.
I hit it in a dry rig when I was over there, and I really liked the flavor. I kind of almost feel like Eric's kind of right. Damn it. Did I say that on a live? Shh, don't tell Eric. He doesn't know. I kind of think like hitting without any water and hitting in that smaller rig really is a better way to taste. If you're going for taste, like if you're really going for, it's like when you're wine tasting, you don't just take a big shot glass, you know what I mean? Or you don't take a big, so I just feel like, or a beer bong, right? I feel like, that you do need kind of a smaller rig, kind of a one that, maybe percolates a certain way. And I think in the future, there's going to be maybe like those type of glasses, or someone's going to come up with one that they really believe. And then they're going to say, oh, you hit this dab at this temp to bring out certain things here. And then you hit it at this side. And I think there's going to be some real cool scientific glass when it comes down to that in the future for dabs. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to dabbing all these amazing terpenes in the future.
It's fun to be a part of, that's for sure.
Yes. And I'm so lucky to live here in the Pacific Northwest. I have to say, next month's Thanksgiving, but I'm going to start to give thanks right now. Because seriously, I am so lucky to live in the Pacific Northwest with, all these amazing people, all amazing growers, and to be able to have cannabis legal. Cheers.
Yeah, you can say that again. It's quite a time. Can't wait for it to be worldwide. It'll take a while, but I think we're getting there. So now that we're at this point of the show, I just want to take a minute to say thank you, everyone, to tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. Anyone that's tuning in after, listening in, that's made it this far, please like, subscribe, and share if you're so inclined. We appreciate it. And have another dab. Load up with us. If you didn't have one yet and you were just teeter-tottering about it, have one more. I think you have one more before you get out there and have a nice, productive day. I was teeter-tottering, and Tara convinced me. One more. So
one more.
On that note,
I'm going to have a sip of my coffee.
I'm going to make another coffee because I just finished mine a few minutes ago. I need one more. I'm going to get outside, get moving, get on the shed, check things out. Cam's coming around. We're having a great day.
Oh,
Look at
Cam's
that.
coming over. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, cool.
Sarah,
I'll get to see Cam on Zoom.
take it away. Yes, you will.
Well, cheers. I'm going to have a drink. Good old water. Drink water. Hashtag drink water. Drink lots of water. Drink healthy water. It's going to be some conversation coming up on water. Yeah, going to be some conversation coming up on water because I've been finding out a lot of interesting things about water. And we need to care more about what we're putting in our body and what's going into our water systems as well. Just a little hint in the future. Looking forward to more shows with you all. It's so awesome hanging out with you. Are y'all dabbing? What are you hitting one last time? Tell me what you're hitting. Let me see in chat if you're out there. Say hello because I'm going to say hello to you back. And thanks for hanging out again today. We're going to go through Sammy, K Buds, Ahmed, Sis. What do we got? What we got? Hold on. It froze. It froze. Raymond, thanks again coming from us. Future. Purple, thanks again coming to us. I bet Kathy will be in later. Sister Kathy, love you. Thanks for that cup, by the way. She's the one that gave me that cup. Isn't it cute? Jazz and Kelly came in. I bet you guys got the freeze going on too. You guys got some Girl Scout cookies. Ooh, and I don't, Oaks Con. I don't even know how to say that. Oh God, you guys are making me struggle with some of these words here. Thanks again, you guys, all for being here. And we will be back in live on Saturday. I don't know who we have coming on. I don't know if we have a guest. I just got home from this trip and unpacked, and yeah, so we'll keep you posted. See you again, 9 a.m. Pacific. Cheers. Have a fabulous day. As always, peace and love. Drake.